welcome back again to the You Like That podcast, solo isolation edition. We're still going, the world's still fucking ending, we know how it all goes. Happy Easter, everyone. I'm filming this on the Easter Sunday. Hope you have all had a somewhat pleasant Easter weekend escape that you can't escape from. I don't know. Hopefully you've been able to contact your loved ones and still try and have some joy of Easter. Get some chockies. I've got a fucking shelf full of them now, so I'm gonna be living on chocolate for quite a while now. Been a little bit, obviously just taking a bit of break from here and that, trying to continue on with normal life, and easier for some than others. Unfortunately, Jack isn't holding up as well as myself and other people, but there are people out there that are a little bit struggling right now, and all we can do is send them as much love as you can. If you know someone out there who's struggling, please send them some love, talk to them, give them a phone call, whatever. People need it now more than ever. So, with that, we're back again. If you notice by my clap, in isolation, the missus gets bored, paints your fingers black, so don't let that lead you astray from here. This is nothing wrong with it. So today, I'm doing a movie. I'm not doing a top 10, I'm not doing a worst 10, I'm doing a movie. The movie we're doing is Train to Busan. Whew. My absolute favourite zombie movie. I will fight anyone to say it is the best zombie movie ever. Hands down. Best zombie movie ever. Fight me. I just watched it again, just so I could be fresh in the mind. This is a Netflix movie. It is Korean. So it is a subtitled movie, but if you've been following along to Parasite, the platform, fuck, it doesn't matter if there's subtitles now, just fucking watch it. Get over yourself. Watch these subtitled movies. They're better than English movies, without a doubt. So Train to Busan is a Korean zombie movie that is full of emotion, gore, action. It's got more than enough to get any zombie person happy, or anyone that just wants to have a decent zombie movie. This is your fucking movie. So it would have been a movie that you would have seen floating around on Netflix, you know, many years ago. One of those homepage movies. Oh, look, watch Train to Busan. It's one of our international, you know, amazing movies, and it is. It fucking is. So Train to Busan is quite simple. It is a movie where a father who is a massive workaholic, who is a fund manager, who is more than estranged from his daughter, who doesn't really like him. She just wants to go be with her mum, who they're divorced or getting divorced, whatever they are, and just wants to go to see her and stay with her for her birthday. Completely fair. The dad just works like crazy. It's a standard, you know, working dad character that doesn't see his kid or kids enough. And that sets up the basis to him going, okay, I'll take you to see your mum tomorrow for your birthday and whatever. And then the majority of this movie just takes place on a train. And the whole thing is they're going from one city to Busan. And then along the way you get the whole zombie aspect to it, the saving, trying to save people on other carriages and shit, which we'll get into. But basically the whole idea is he's just trying to get his daughter to his ex-wife safely through all this shit that's going on. So, where do I start on this? The reason I like this movie so fucking much to begin with, there is no bullshit about how the zombies have come to be. There's no bullshit on a virus. There's no bullshit labs and, you know, convoluting your whole plot of just trying to figure out where this virus came from and who carried it and who started what and all this. You get fucking nothing of that. You get the start of the movie, pans in this guy's driving up to this sort of like toll booth sort of thing where they've got it set up where in today's situations it's pretty similar, and they're all hosing down, disinfecting these cars they're driving through, he's wondering what the fuck's going on. They're saying, oh, there's a leak at one of the biotech companies or something like that. That's about all you know about an impending epidemic virus coming to be. Is that there was a small leak at this biotech lab, and that's it. Dude runs over a deer, and then the deer wakes up, its eyes are all glazed over, and you go, oh, it's a zombie. It's a zombie deer. So you get that, and then as the dad's taking his daughter to the train station and stuff, is when you start seeing like all these ambulances and firefighters and police driving up to this tower that's on fire. It's very subtle stuff that's not focusing on it, and that's brilliant to why. That's why this movie's brilliant. It's not diluting itself to focusing around the virus itself or whatever the cause of this infection is. So that is possibly the best thing about this movie, is that if you watch any other zombie movies and you're just like, fuck, it's like dancing around these viruses and showing these labs, and it's like everything will just take place in this lab where it all started and shit like that. I don't fucking need to know about it. I don't know about anyone else, but I don't care about where the fucking virus comes from. I don't want to know about its lore and shit like that. Just show me the zombies and give me a decent plot that's fucking, you know, got enough to it to keep me going without having to worry about this virus. And that's what this movie does. It pays dividends in just going, yeah, there's zombies there. It was a leak somewhere. We won't tell you more about it. We won't give it a name like the T virus or the B virus or the G virus. It's always something fucking stupid like that. And I'm looking at you, Resident Evil. Yeah, it's that. It's just, yep, we know that there was a small leak at this lab. That's it. There was a brief radio call when they boarded the train. Everything started going AWOL in this city, and they had the news report saying, oh, there's rioting in the cities, and something about this. I think he was on the phone to one of his colleagues, and they're saying it's an airborne virus now. So, and that's about all. The rest that you hear from it is just that. They always refer to it as it's just rioting. And there's a lot in this movie that's, again, it's just symbolic to a lot of different things. It's selfishness of other people. It's government not tackling things properly. You know, it's doing this. It's a really amazing cinematic scene where they're traveling on the train, and then it's painting to other cities that are parts of it on fire, and there's a press conference from their president or prime minister, I don't know what the fuck they have over there, just saying like, oh, you know, where certain regions have it contained and no one's safety is at risk, so all this, and you just see people are fucking getting eaten and dying on the fucking streets. So it's like, I don't know about that, but okay, go with it, bro. So it's a very, yeah, you could blast government in there of just saying they're just fucking not doing anything right. But this movie just packs so much emotion into it. So I don't want to spoil anything right now in case you haven't seen this movie yet. So if you haven't, all I say is this movie, from start to finish, it's more emotional than there is horror-esque type scenes in this. You know, there's great use of the zombies in these movies. For a movie, excuse me, it definitely uses enough and not the worst type of CGI for certain scenes. It's makeup and effects of the zombies themselves are they're brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Got to give props to the actors that were zombies. The way that they would just wriggle around on the floor as they're turning, and it's just like, ooh, it's fucking freaky shit. And they're just like rolling around like nothing, and their limbs are flailing and shit. And it's really fucking well done. It's like, got to give them props to that. But yeah, there's that aspect, but just brace for more emotion in this movie. Between many characters, there's a lot of arcs in this story. A lot of them turn out sad. It's a zombie movie; they're going to turn out sad. And there's some decent action sequences in certain parts. It's not a lot. It's a very story driven movie. So just take that how you will, as that being your spoiler free part of this movie. You know, it's emotion filled and very story driven. So you can pay attention, and you get a decent story out of it. It's not just getting a zombie movie, you're getting a story based movie, which I fucking loved. So that's your spoiler free. Let's dive into the spoilers, because there's so much I just want to say about this all. So there's a villain in this movie. This villain is that fucking COO of that Stallion Express, or whatever the fuck he is. Most selfish man on this train. You just, as the movie goes on, you just want him fucking dead. You want him fucking dead. So this movie focuses on a lot of selfishness within multiple characters, including the character being the dad of the daughter, who acts very selfish. His daughter is very kind to other people on this train, offering her seat to elderly ladies and such. And him sort of saying, you don't need to be nice to people, and times like these, just look out for yourself. And right, but in the same sense, you can kind of see where they come from, because if you were in a scenario of a zombie invasion, or whatever you want to call it, how would you react in these situations? Would you try and look out for other people? Would you just look out for yourself and your family that you're with? It's a hard scenario, because we could get to that scenario pretty soon. Who knows where the fuck this virus is going to go? But it's so hard to dictate what kind of person you'll be in that high pressure situation. So you look at it and you're kind of like, all right, you're kind of right. Definitely look out for yourself, because there are a lot of backstabbing people out there, which you find on later anyway. And then there is also the case of, no, you can help people, and if you work together, then you can get through other situations. So it's very hard to look at if he is a bad guy. He does redeem himself through the end of the movie. Definitely redeems himself. But the selfishness of other people is what drives there to be less survivors than there could have been. There's a lot of teamwork that needs to be made within this. So we break it through. So you have, once the first zombie, the first infected person gets on this train and starts infecting people, and they start moving themselves in between the carriages, you've then got X amount of people infected, stuck in these other carriages, and you've got the survivors. You've also got his daughter, the strongman's wife, pregnant wife, one of the elderly ladies, stuck in this washroom in between a bunch of zombies. This is when it becomes interesting in the movie, because you go, are they going to devise a fucking rescue mission right now? And they fucking do. The three guys, the dad, the strong man, and one of the young baseball kids, strap up their arms, devise a plan of just fucking hammer through them, one carriage at a time, we'll get them out. And that's when the really good action scenes come into it. They go in there, full guns blazing, just bashing zombies left or right, fucking throwing them here, throwing them up on the fucking roof and everything. Hectic shit. It's good. It's a good scenario. And then it's just hitting you with that, fuck, this is bringing out the unselfishness of the dad originally, happily going to help. So once they get there and they find that the zombies themselves are pretty much blind in darkness, once they start going through some tunnels, helps their plan even more. And there's some real smartness to people and how they do this shit and get them, extract the people that they're trying to save, get them out, which all comes well by the end of it. They get them all out, and then real selfishness comes out with the villain I was talking about, the fucking COO guy. They all make it back to the main cabin, and they're locked out. And they're like, nah, we're not opening the door. Fuck yous. And I'm like, fucking let us in, fuck you, come on. They're all trying to hold the door down to not let him in. The big tough guy is holding the door that the zombies are trying to get through. and unfortunately he gets bit, starts turning into a zombie. His wife is then just tears, full emotion right there. That's your first bit of emotion. There's more to come. Get that emotion. He's holding them off so they can get through. They break through the door, and instantly you're just like, you want to fucking bash that dude, that fucking dude. Man, they close the door. The two nicer people in this movie, the two elderly sisters, and the one's just sitting there. She's like, I'm not coming in. I'm done. And her sister watches on as she leaves herself there to get eaten. That's another emotional part. Very close together. So they close it off. They come through. The dad comes out straight up, belts the COO straight in the face. Like, what the fuck? Why'd you do this? And then the dude comes out. He's infected. Get this guy off me. He's infected. He's one of them. Look at it. He's turning. Holy shit. This dude just doesn't fucking stop. So, again, it's just more tenseness of now these people are now being treated like they're going to turn when all they did was just go and try and save more people. So, they banish them to the front of the train in this little tiny section because they're just assholes. And they go, okay, fine, whatever, let's just go. They go in there, they start tying the door off so that there's no chance they can come back into their cabin. And then the other elderly woman is looking at her sister. She's already turned over, zombie, sitting there at the other door, talking to herself, and then walks over, opens the door, lets all the zombies in. And you go, fucking yes, Granny! Get it in there! Fuck them up! The other people all hear the commotion, they're all getting fucking eaten and shit, and you just feel this sense of, oh, yes! These fucking people are dead. Yes! That's what we wanted. Movie progresses on. They're trying to switch trains over on the train lines because the other one's blocked. They're going to move to another one. The conductor's saying, I'm going to go find this train, put it on the far left track, get there safely, and get going to Busan. So the remaining survivors that we have left of the main crew start to get their way off, and then we see that the COO did not die in that eaten situation. He was hiding in the washroom with one of the other crew members of the train. And then they say they're going to make a break for it. So the crew member comes out first, and then he just fats out, throws him into the zombies, makes a run for himself. Fucking this dude is all about himself. Going through more emotion, the young baseball star kid and his girl / friend are making their way through the trains, and as he's trying to break through one of the windows of the train, the COI guy comes up, throws the girl back into the zombies. She gets eaten. He smashes through the window, jumps through. Baseball kid starts crying. He gets eaten by her, and it's like, fucking more emotion and more people fucking dying in this. Jesus. And then the dad, his daughter, the pregnant woman, making their way to this last train, who's being now conducted by the COO, who fucked over the train conductor as well. If you watch it, this dude fucks everyone over. He's infected, has a fight with the dad. Dad gets bit, throws the guy off, sets his daughter and the pregnant woman, saying, you keep going, stay with her, you look after her. And then he locks him in, walks out to the back of the train, starts getting emotional, starting to turn. Cuts to a scene of him when his daughter was first born. Lovely little scene. He starts smiling as his eyes is glazed over. Jumps off the train. Sacrifices himself. The movie ends with the daughter and the pregnant woman walking through this tunnel at the end of the train line for Busan, where there's an army situation at the end of that tunnel, waiting for any survivors or any zombies to come through to keep them controlled. See them walking through, they don't know if they're infected or not, and then the little girl starts singing the song from the start of the movie at her recital that she didn't finish. It's come full circle. Her dad's always said, you finish anything you start. She's finishing the song. Very emotional. I'm sorry, but A zombie movie nearly makes you cry. Oh, right on. It's a good fucking movie. So, movie ends there. Wow. Just... There is so much greatness about this movie. It's so hard to fucking talk about because again, it's an international movie that is just better than any fucking English movie I've ever seen. Depict zombies. Like I don't know of any other zombie movie that like made me fucking want to go, yeah, that movie was fucking brilliant. None. Zombieland is a comedy. It doesn't count as a zombie movie. Fuck you. It's a great movie, but second one sucked. It wasn't as great. It was good. It's another episode. But Train to Busan is brilliant. It is so brilliant. It is worth your time. It is worth the watch. There is not a sequel, but it's a second movie within its universe coming out hopefully this year. I don't fucking know because every movie's not coming out. Called Peninsula. Apparently this movie's just taking 4 years after the events of Train to Busan, but it's still set in the same universe, but it's not a direct sequel continuing the story. Go watch the trailer for that because that as well looks fucking brilliant. But Train to Busan, that is a movie that you need to watch. Another movie to open your eyes about international films and why they need to be recognised as some of the better films in the industry. It doesn't matter about any English movie you see come out, any mainstream movie. Fuck that. International movies are the fucking way to go. They are the best. There is so much more gain out of those movies than any stupid ass fucking English movie. And this is one of those more horror-esque type internationals that is fucking brilliant. I've been saying it so much, but it fucking is. It's just so good. Watch this movie. Tell me how emotional you get. Where does this rank in your zombie movies? What would you do in the situation if you were in that scenario? How would you react? Would you be selfish? Would you look out for others? How would you be in a zombie apocalypse invasion? Or right now? Because everyone's fucking hoarding shit right now. And it's basically like being in some sort of apocalypse. So, think about it. But watch this movie. Please watch this movie. It's still on Netflix. It is worth your time. It is worth seeing. Getting hyped for the next one. You will be shocked about that this is a zombie movie. And it made you feel the way it does. Because I can't stop talking about it. It is a fucking brilliant movie. And it adds so much feel to a zombie movie. And it's not like it's a bad sort of like, no, it's just making a zombie movie seem all sappy and sad and shit. Because it's a movie. It's a movie. If it was just a straight up zombie movie that had no fucking plot, it had no drive, it had no end game, no nothing, no fulfillness about it, you'd fucking slate it as a terrible movie. Let this movie give you some fucking emotion. You will love it. So with that, I'm going to end this movie here. I'm going to end this episode here. This is my solo episode of a movie, a single movie. No top 10. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you're all keeping well. Who knows when all this shit's going to end, but I'm going to try and get back on and get as many different things as I can out for you. Hopefully Jack can be back on the ball soon. Go send him some love. And until the next one, my name is Adam, and you like that podcast. Very good.